guys, and girls, and ladies, and women, and gentlemen, and everybody. So, I had to pop up again and make another video. Okay, so I was just sitting there thinking about like the play events that's happened in my life this past year. Like it's always happened, but this past year has been like really strong. Yeah. So last year, maybe about 2 years ago actually, because I was pregnant with um Aspen. So I just wrote a list down, and the list was I just wrote it on orange construction paper, and I was writing it fast, but I wrote like things that I had to do, like my goals, and it was just like get my bachelor's degree, work hard for a year, and then I'll be able to, just back off a little bit because I would, did my goals. And it was like wait for vacations because I'm always trying to go somewhere. I'm always planning something. So, and it was just like, and save money and all this stuff. But it was like from me speaking to myself. So I thought. So I kind of brushed it off. I ain't do what I was supposed to do. I had like put up a calendar, count down the days when I was gonna graduate. It like all equaled out. May 9th, I'll never forget, May 9th. And when I counted it up, it was like equal some number that popped in my head. Like it was meant to be. But hey, I got in self and I didn't do it. So I was just regretting it. I was regretting, why I didn't do that, why I didn't do it. So yeah, and and then again, like my husband, he would say things like, "You're gonna be a you're gonna be a chief." Like we would see like the young chiefs walking around, cause in the Navy, people, even if they're not young, they look young, extra young. So we would see him, at the store and things walking around, and he would say, "That's gonna be you. I'm gonna buy you your first pair of khaki pants." Because that's what the Chiefs wear, is khaki pants. So he say that, and he's like, "You gonna get them starched? We gonna take them to the cleaners. You gonna look good." But I just never like talked about it with him because I never saw in my head of me being a chief. I never saw that, and I would tell him that, I don't see me being a chief. And so, but I would just say it lightheartedly. That's just how I would say things. And so the day after I announced my calling, God came to me in full force, and I wrote down a list similar to the one that I had wrote that day on an orange piece of paper 2 years ago. And it was just very, very clear and very instructional. Go to Virginia, settle in Virginia. Don't don't come back to Texas. But I scratched out come back and I wrote look back. It was very specific. And I had to but and that if you think about it, that makes all the difference in the world. Whether you would come back or you'll look back. So it was just very detailed, very, very detailed. Focus on the kids' Christmas. They will still think you are great. You can't do what you want to do for their birthdays. It was just like, don't worry about the money. Just, go. And I really felt like I had to get about my father's business. I had to go. And Abraham had just, got his job, and I was just telling my parents, I gotta go. And I just felt like I gotta go. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I got to go. And so my car became ready that Friday, and we left the next week. And anybody who knows candy paint, it takes months to for them to get it ready. He did my car in like a month or something, just real close to a month. He did it quickly. So it was just like it was ready. And I just thought like I'm gonna go show my car off. Me and Abraham was gonna go to this wanted to go out, show the car off, all this stuff. But I didn't go not one place. in my car while I was in Texas because God just showed me that car ain't for everybody. You know, that car is for you. And right before I went to boot camp, I was like, oh, I want a Camaro. I want a Camaro. We would see them on the highway, and I would say, oh, that's my dream car. That's the kind of car I want, you know. And when I got done from graduating with boot camp, we walked outside, and Abraham had surprised me with the Camaro. And so that's why I say he's my muscle. He's my muscle man, because I'll just tell him stuff and he'll do it, you know? So that's why I call him that. But yeah, so yeah, but God just showed me this car ain't for everybody. This car is for you. It's my gift to you. And also on the notes I wrote after that day that that I announced my calling, I wrote, you know, God gave you these blessings. Well, I didn't write God. I'm sorry. I gave you these blessings. Go enjoy them. Enjoy the blessings I've given you. And I wrote that down. And I was just thinking, because when we were in Texas, I was staying at my dad's house, you know. And then so both cars were in the paint shop, my Camaro and Abraham's Cadillac. So all we had was the SUV. And so it was just like irony, you know, like here you are with 4 kids, you're staying in your parents' house, you with your husband driving 1 car. You know, God just showed me, Alaina, you don't have to live this life. You know, this is what it could have been. You know, this is how your life could have been. Why are you always dwelling and saying, oh, I need to go to Texas. I need to get to Texas. What is in Texas? I didn't go see not one person while I was in Texas. I stayed at my mom's the whole time. So what was in Texas? But, you know, God just showed me that. You know, my brother using the restroom and I'm waiting on him to go to the restroom. And God's telling me, Alaina, you have your own bathroom in Virginia. You have your own room in Virginia. You have your own home. Why are you in Texas? You know, and he just pretty much yelled it out to me. So, okay, so that was the first day. That was the note. I was in awe. I was amazed. I was just, yeah. So I'm driving the kids to school. And I'm thinking, I'm just going crazy in my mind. I'm just, because he's coming to me, you know. And so then came and he said, how else am I supposed to speak to you? Wow, that's true. How else is God supposed to speak to you, you know? And I'm having just one-on-one conversations in my head, like I would add something in my head and I would get the answer. Or I remember driving to Virginia. This was the easiest drive I ever drove in my life. And I was really worried about it because it was just a long way, you know. But it was the easiest drive I've ever drove. God was just speaking to me the whole entire time. I felt like I was in a zone where I was just in tunnel vision. I was just driving, but I wasn't driving, you know, like I just was, it was amazing. And I would think things or think, you know, I'm crazy. And then I look up at a billboard and it say, shoot for the stars. You know, it was just amazing. And then in Georgia it started raining really, really, really bad. And I'm in my Camaro with Autumn. Abraham's in the SUV in front of me. He has Anaya, Abraham, and Aston. And we have our cars packed with stuff, like, because I was going to Texas to stay for 4.5 months. But, you know, God saw different. But I just, yeah, so we had the cars packed with stuff. My Camaro is small and low to the ground. And it just started raining so bad. And it was dark. And I couldn't see. I couldn't see. And I was telling Abraham, I was telling him to pull over. We was on the highway though. And I was telling him to pull over because it was dark. I couldn't see him. And then it was dark, so I didn't want to lose him. lose him in the traffic. And it was raining so hard, and I was just so scared. And I was telling Abraham, we're about to have to just leave my Camaro on the side of the road, and I'll get in the car with you because and I was scared. I couldn't, like when we were switching lanes, I couldn't see behind me to switch over, and I was just nervous. And then so the song, Our God is awesome. Awesome. Our God is awesome. That started playing in the car. He can move mountains, and hide me from the valley. Oh no, oh God, I gotta. Okay, but so hide me from the rain. Our God is awesome. So that started playing in my car on my playlist. And I just turned the music up and I said, what am I saying to myself? Why am I scared? I just said a prayer. I said, Lord, if you just be my eyes on this road and you just guide me on this road and you just bless all these other cars that's coming. And I just prayed about it. And so Abraham, he called me a few minutes later, and that's nothing. He couldn't talk to me because he had the navigation on his phone. So he couldn't say, baby, get over right now. Or I was just in a panic. So that song started playing. I turned it up loud in my car. Like that was the only thing I was listening to. Our God is awesome. And I'm thinking, I'm saying he awesome, but why am I nervous? He telling me to go to Virginia because he got a mission for me to do, so I know I'm going to make it. So I'm just sitting there, and then I turned my music up, and I just prayed to God, and I said, just be my eyes on this road because I can't see. And Lord, when I tell you that I could see and stuff became clear, and I just got in my car and I just started praising God. And Abraham, next thing I know, we pulling up at a gas station, and he's saying, "Is you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good," because we were gonna stop at a hotel. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm good," So, but I'm saying I believe in you, I trust in you, but here I am scared on this road. And I just started praising God, and I became overwhelmed with that, with the praising Him. That I wasn't even worried about the other cars. It was easy to navigate. But that's just showing you, like, God is awesome. God is really awesome. Okay, so back to the play. So I was just telling so I started writing a notebook of all the things I had to do. And ideas would pop in my head like little. Like I would think about not being able to go to the prom. How that was an important moment for me, right? So I sit there and I think and I write it down, make a prom for my girls. And then I write down make a school for my girls, because how would they go to a prom if they didn't have a school? And then I write question mark, and then I would get Alaina's Everlasting Charter Schools. Or I'll write make a law pertaining to young mothers. Make something that they have to do in school. And then I would make a law, a few minutes later. With how I figured out how I was supposed to minister to young mothers, Sister Allen, Minister Allen, she, about a year ago, she came to me. I was pregnant with Aspen. And she said, that not everybody is meant to bear children. Just out the blue, she just came and said that to me. She said, look how you handle it. Look how your body bounces back. Look how your body handles pregnancy. Look how your babies are healthy. She said, God said to be plentiful, but not for everybody. So I'm just, and that always stuck with me. I gave her a hug. She was busy. She was the hostess that night. They had a Valentine's Day banquet at their church. So well, not at the church, but she was hosting it. So she was running around doing stuff, and she just came and sat by me and told me it. And she said, childbearing is a ministry. So I would tell people, because I never forgot what she said. And they would be like, oh, I never heard of that before. Or I would try to Google it and I couldn't find it. So one night I was writing down in my notebook and I wrote I wrote like empowerment of women. That's what I wrote at first. And so I text Abraham because he had Sister Allen's number. I didn't have a number in my old phone, in my new phone. So I texted him. I said, "What's Sister Allen's number?" He never asked me why did I need it. And Abraham is a very, if you know him, he'll be like, "Why you need it for?" Like he would have gave it to me, but he would have asked me why I would need it. He didn't ask me. He just texted me a number. So I texted and I wrote, I remember what you said at the banquet, and I'm going to do my research on it. So right when I got done texting her that, right under where I wrote the empowerment of women, I wrote, childbirth is the ministry. Childbirth is motherhood. Motherhood is the ministry of young mothers. And I circled young mothers, the empowerment of young mothers. So that's why I say when God specifically told me young mothers, it came in steps. I think about how I'm vocal about my visions that God gives me. I wasn't this vocal before. I told my mom, I told Sister Allen, God told me to lean on those two women for strength. But and I still felt crazy saying it. Like, I told him, I said, I see myself big, like Oprah, like T.D. Jakes, like big, I said, I see my everlasting girls being big. I see facilities where young girls can go. You know how like they go to WIC or Planned Parenthood? Like they will go to a facility with my name on it. I told them I see big things. It's not on a little scale. When I'm doing my website, I'm keeping in mind nationally. I'm not thinking about, just Texas or just Virginia where I'm at, what I know. I'm not thinking about that. Think about businesses. I have about 15, 20 businesses. God gave me the title of, at the time that when I left Texas, I had about 20 books. Now I have, who knows? It's so many books. Alaina's Everlasting, books, Mother to Mother. That's a whole entity of books. Then we have Alaina's Everlasting books, Mother to Child, for little kids. That's another book. Then we have Alaina's Everlasting Learner. That's another book for kids to learn shapes and alphabets and all that stuff. Then we have Alaina's Everlasting Historian, so that children can learn about history. Then we have Alaina's Everlasting Reader, so children can learn how to read. We have Alaina's Everlasting Mathematician, so children can learn about math. We have Alaina's Everlasting Magazine, Mother to Mother. We have Alaina's Everlasting Magazine, Saint to Saint. All this stuff and I'm sitting here and I'm writing it in a day. I finished my magazine in a day. I finished my website in a day. God told me what to write. Last night I wrote, be prepared, it's going to take off fast. He's telling me what to do. He told me how many lawyers to have, how many um accountants to have, and what kind of degrees they need to have. I've written it all down. It's amazing. Then when I think, oh, this is amazing, this is crazy, I remember being a little girl, how I would tell my daddy, I don't understand the Bible. Because it's so complex, it's so difficult to understand. And my daddy would say, well, pray for understanding, that you understand the Bible. And I pray for that. And now when I tell people the story, they tell me that's why God is so detailed with you, because otherwise you wouldn't understand it. When I say he is detailed, he tells me my shirts, okay, they're going to be purple with white writing. The church, like I have visions. I see it. I see myself standing inside my church. I can explain to you how it looks. I told Abraham, I said, I think I'm supposed to wear all white. I told him that the other day. He said, that's because the high bishop wears all white. I didn't know that. I'm saying things that I don't know. Business plans that's brilliant. Brilliant. Like I have a marketing person or something. All I have is God. It's me and God sitting there, right, doing this website. It's just me and God. I would be ashamed to say this, like, oh, people gonna think I'm crazy, but it's like every day he just revealed a layer comes off, a layer comes off. First I told my mama, then I told my daddy, then I told Sister Allen, then I told my friend. It's just every day something else is happening. And God told me, I prepared you. Y'all know how I was trying to grow my hair out, and I was trying to just get it healthy. I was worried about, my weight again and my teeth. The Navy doesn't do cosmetic surgery on your teeth. Like, who does that? My teeth weren't bad, but I had how like the enamel tears away. And every dentist that I would go to, because my wonderful husband, he's always trying to, not enhance me, but he wants me to be my best. So he would say, we're gonna get your teeth whiter, we're gonna do this. And the dentists would always tell me that they couldn't do it. Like, I was gonna pay y'all. And they would say, we don't do that, or we can't do that. So I go to the dentist, the Navy dentist one day, and he was like, have you ever thought about getting your teeth whitened? Because like I said, the enamel at the top had like teared away, so they were kind of like a brownish yellow color just at the top. But when I smiled, you couldn't see. But so but I noticed, So he just asked me that. Next day, then I go in. They don't do people's teeth like that. Like, they're the Navy. Like, they don't do cosmetic surgery. And people would say, well, how did you get that done? And I never asked him. He just did it, And he wiped my teeth. They gave me a fancy whitening kit. I just think about all that stuff. Just God was preparing me. He was preparing me. I think about in middle school, Miss DeVilla, when I'm sitting in her technology class learning about HTMLs and how to make a website. He was preparing me. I remember. I think about the balloon store. God was preparing me. Think about knowing how to do my daughter's hair, like simple stuff. God was preparing me. I think about teaching my kids how to learn. God was preparing me. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. God is so good. Autumn is an infant. Aspen is a toddler. Little Abraham is a child-aged child. Anaya is a preteen. God is preparing me for every section of a child's life. I just got done being pregnant. I remember the stuff. So when I write my books, I thought about, I was in the middle of writing one of my books, and I'm thinking, here's another how ideas evolve in my head. So I'm writing one of my books, and I'm thinking about publishing issues, like copyright issues. So I'm like, I can't put all these other people's stuff in my book without giving them credit. So God came to me and he said, don't worry about that. Just write the book. So, okay, I started writing the book. So I go down and I lay down, and God came to me. All the things I'm writing about, I'm done. I write about how to take the kids to Disney World, how to take the kids to Washington D.C., how to make the first plane ride memorable. I've done all that stuff. I've documented all that stuff. I've taken pictures of all that stuff. Alaina, you ain't gotta use nobody else's copywriting pictures or nothing. You have your own. That's the point. That's the point that I prepared you for. That is the point. And then I'm thinking, I go to college or whatever. So I'm thinking, I need to write all these big fancy words. I'm rewriting sentences, thinking about how I'm gonna make this good, sound educated, like I got some sense. Because people always say I write like I talk, which it might not be a bad thing, But I get that I write like I talk, yeah. So I'm in the middle of writing, and God just tells me, be real, be you, be yourself. That's what they're gonna appreciate. Listen to you. Look at your audience. Your audience is young moms. They don't care if you use no big fancy words. Who are you? Be real, be raw, be you. People see fakery. That's what he told me. When I say God is brilliant. God is brilliant. And then I just pop up and I just do whatever he tells me to do. I just pop it up and I just do it. And I don't know if it's really, inside of me that's doing it, or it's because my head just gets to hurting and I gotta do it. But like I said, I'm having visions. That day when I wrote Alaina J. Hawkins, Evangelist / Prophetess, I thought I said, do people be evangelist / prophetess? I saw a picture in my head of that title, that name, and I told everybody. So now it's just real. This website is about to come out, and I'm thinking, I'm writing it. Like I said, God tells me what to write, so I'm just writing it, half sleep. And I'm thinking, who am I, baby? Who am I? But God says you are mine. You are great and you are chosen since I was a little girl. And so I hope y'all see the God in me. I hope y'all know that I am not in self. I hope you know that God runs all through my veins. Whenever I get he speaks to me, I get powered up. You know how on X-Men or a superhero movie where all the energy is just built up in a person, and I'm on fire, I'm hot, I'm walking back and forth. I gotta get the energy out of me. I gotta speak it, and this is how I speak it. I gotta speak it, and I gotta do it, and I gotta move. And then After I feel exhausted, I feel drained. I feel like a superhero. You know how like they fall out at the end of a movie? That's how I feel. I told my and I get sick to my stomach. My stomach hurts, my head hurts. And I told my mom that, and she said that's how I feel after I preach. My daddy said the same thing too. They said just make sure you take care of yourself, you know. But and when I'm writing, I got a notebook just full of stuff. If you saw this stuff, you would just be amazed. And I'm like, I didn't come up with this. I'm not that smart, really. So, but I'm just writing like a maniac. I'm writing, I'm writing, I'm writing. It's God. It's God, guys. So, like I said, just I'm a real person. I'm just little old Lena, you know. But God is a big old God, and He is just working all through me. He is all in my vein. So when this website come out, Alaina's Everlasting Ministry, just know that God has blessed this website, and I just am humbled by it. I see the vision in my head. He told me I'll be a female bishop over 6 churches. He told me the locations of the churches. He told me to have female pastors over all 6 churches. He told me the pastors would be younger than 50. He told me they would dress stylish, not slutty. He told me they would be in a strong marriage with, a strong husband, a strong backbone. So it's amazing. It's my mom told me I'm a bearer. I have the gift to give birth to things. I birth things. I birth ideas. I birth businesses. I birth things. She said that's why my stomach hurts so bad until I speak it, until I say it, because I'm giving birth to it. I'm gonna research that more, but it sounded pretty good to me. She said you birth things. I think about the business. I think about doing hair. I'm the balloon business. That's pretty accurate. I could have stayed open. We was booming. People was calling me left and right. People still want me to do that balloon. Nothing happened so that to discourage me from doing the business. It was just something I didn't want to do no more. Hair. I can do some hair, baby. I can braid. I can flat iron. I can do hair. I just never want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I birth things. I might open up a beauty salon, but I'm not gonna do the hair. I might open up a balloon store, but I might not blow the balloons. And I wrote that in my notes. I said, build and lead. I would write, start the social media, and then let somebody else handle it, and you go write more books. I wrote that because I meant to build, and a builder builds it and they leave. Being a bishop, you establish the churches, but you build it and you leave. That's amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, I just get choked up just thinking about it. But I love you. I love everybody. And I have this website up, so y'all can go check it out. You can see my vision. You can see my videos. You can see all this amazing stuff that God is doing in my life. And I'm just, I'm just just getting in on the secret. I told my parents. I said, I feel like God's been knowing this all along, and I'm just now getting in on it. You know how like you feel like people talking about you, and then you like just now getting in on it. That's how I feel. But okay, this is long enough. Okay, y'all have a blessed day.